I'm from a goal in Liverpool, just outside Liverpool, and one of the things that we've been doing lots of for about 5 or 6 years now is blogging. And we've taken it perhaps up to the next step, really because our local authority provided us with a VLE, which didn't really fit the bill, and we were left in a little bit of limbo. And one of the things I got quite interested in was Google Apps. And I teach the Year 4 class, and one of the things that they get used to is using lots and lots of technology. And some of the things that Alex was talking about before, about embedding things into VLEs, my class do with in their own blogs, which they have. This is our school blog, and on the front page that's just gone on is the big word Google there. And it's simply an easy way for the children to see. And I'm hoping I can remember the password to get into here. Admin. That's fine. Okay. So as well as having a blog, and as well as my class having a class blog, and as well as the class having a blog, we started about 2 years ago having a blog where the children did everything, and I just kept my eye on things to make sure there was nothing inappropriate, and there never was. And then we took it to the next level where children, if they wanted to, with parents writing permission slips and all that kind of stuff, they got their own blogs. And some of the children in this year's Year 4 class really have been exceptional in the way that they have blogged. They talk about editing HTML code as though it's the most natural thing in the world. And if you go and look at some of the children's blogs, and you'll perhaps see some on the presentation that we did, which I'll show you in a minute, it is really quite remarkable what they do, and I don't think I can keep up with them sometime. One example of this was that we set them all up with Google accounts inside our Green Park School.net Google site. And by coincidence, the boy at the top, Kyle Hannigan, no subject, good luck or well done. I don't know if you've had your turn. Let me explain. This time yesterday, I was umming and ahhing whether to come down, simply because Thursday night is my football night. And I discussed it with our class. I said, what should I do? Should I go and play football, or should I go to the TeachMeet in Macclesfield? Showed where Macclesfield was on the map. And one little girl, who's got a very pointy finger, we call it Elizabeth's finger because she always points, said, well, you can always go to football, but you won't be able to go to the TeachMeet again, which persuaded me. So following on from that, it was deciding what to talk about. And I was thinking last night of all the different things that we do, couldn't come up with an obvious idea. But this morning, I thought to myself, we're using Google. One of the great things like Microsoft Live is that you can share and collaborate. And I thought, well, let's give them the opportunity to share and collaborate in a presentation that I've got to do, but it's not really my presentation. So that's what we did this afternoon. We started about 20 to 2. And we've been working about 3 weeks now on Google Apps in the classroom. So we're sort of getting there, some more than others. Some go home and do it often and all the time. One little girl, her name is Faye. You might see it, in fact you will. You'll see a little slide that she's done. When I go and watch Liverpool at my friend's house, football club that is, she lives next door but one to Tony. And as I parked my car to go and watch the match when Liverpool played Fulham a couple of weeks ago, she came running out of the house with her phone in her hands, in her bare feet, saying, Mr. Rafferty, I've been doing Google Apps tonight on World War II, and Callum's on the phone, and we've been talking about it. And it was the excitement of doing stuff at home that we'd been doing in school earlier that afternoon. And she appears on this presentation. And this is a bit rambling, because my lessons are always a little bit rambling. But the point is that this morning, when I had my moment, I thought to myself, well, rather than me do the presentation, I would do the presentation, but it would be of what Year 4 do with Google Apps. So this is what we did this afternoon. Let's just read Kyle's message first. He's done it in green. The other thing about Kyle is, one little boy in our class managed to turn his Gmail account into, we think, some kind of Eastern European language. And for the life of me, I couldn't turn it back. So what I had to do within the domain, if you look at it says manage this domain, in the end, I couldn't work it out. So I deleted him and reinvented him with different username and different passwords and all that kind of stuff. Later on that night, I got a message off Kyle. There he is. He's online now. You can see the little green dot. Hi. He said, Mr. Rafferty, I know how to change it back. And he came into school next day and said, I can change it back. However, we'd already deleted him, so that was by the by. So, anyway, this is the presentation that they did this afternoon. Okay. So I set it up this morning. And I quickly we did a presentation which is kind of like Google's version of PowerPoint. And this is the first page. I just left it with the first. Year 4's TeachMeet presentation for Mr. Rafferty. Something to do with ICT. That's what they had to do. Our class blog is year4.greenparkschool.org.uk. Our email address, if you'd like to get in touch with us, it comes to me. And it's gpyear4@gmail.com. And it's Macclesfield 2003. The picture on the right is me in my football kit. The picture on the left, that side, Kyle has done that tonight. And I was a little bit worried because when we left, because we do Wider Rock Trumpets at 2:30 this afternoon, we finished at 2:15 doing all this, and I was slightly worried that once they got home, they would change everything from what I'd seen about 2:30. So some of these things are completely new to me. Kyle's picture is new. But this is what we did this afternoon. So if I set the show going, which is, no, not that. Start presentation. Just in the top right-hand corner, can you see now, editing now, Kyle Hannigan? Because we can share and collaborate, and they can do this in class with different kinds of writing, then that's what we can do. So if I start their presentation, well, no, I won't, because some of it's worth reading for different reasons. Summer Pop Support Liverpool, that's a little boy, and this is just random things that we did that some are more obvious than others. We've been doing World War II, so they're talking about children who were evacuated and things like that. And then we go on to some of them started writing a little bit more interesting. Let's have a look. George's computer work. What we do in Year 4. In Year 4, we do lots of ICT. We've just started Google Apps, and we're already really good at it. I really like doing Google Apps. I don't really... This is Sadie. She talks a lot, Sadie. I don't really get to go on Google Apps because I'm always playing out with my neighbour called Callum. That's the boy you saw before, and his sister Kira. If you would like to visit my blog, it's sadie.greenparkschool.org.uk. So we do lots of things like that. And as you move down, let's have a look. Who is that one? Most of the children in Year 4 love Google Apps. It's great. If it's where people can do work or just simply create what they want, it's really fun. Sometimes they do some learning as well thrown in. Vockies, the instruction today was to talk about something they've used in ICT, and one of the things that we've used is something called Vockies, which is kind of like a talking head, where you can put voice, change the way the face looks. You can add words, write sentences, and then you can embed them into your blog using HTML code, which they sort of do quite often. Some of them follow the rules. Who's this one? This is Faye. This is Faye, the little girl who went to my friend's house. Hello, my name is Faye, and I'm 8 years old. I'm coming up 9. I love doing ICT, and if it wasn't for Mr. Rafferty, that's me, I wouldn't have known how to embed page plugins. They are fascinated by page plugins because they're all like glittery text and things like that, or even know how to do a little note on the blog. Me, myself. My hobby is singing and dancing. It is. I act shy. She doesn't, but I am really not. I love prancing around in my mum's high heels and putting on a dress that I only get to use to go out. Sorry, this is more than 2 minutes. I do apologise. That's Caitlin. That's this one. What did they eat? So we've got stuff in this shared document that we were all sort of frantically... that's Caitlin's description of herself. This is Lily. Lily's great. She met Zoe Ross. And if you know of Zoe Ross, she's very much an advocate of Google Apps in the classroom. And she came into our class. The children showed what the kind of stuff they did. And Zoe wrote a piece on this quite eminent website called The Purpose of Education. If you type it into Google, you'll probably find it somewhere. And Zoe wrote about our class. And a lot of people commented on Zoe's writing, eminent educationalists across the country. And I think about the 32nd or the 33rd comment on this big long list of different people, it says, "Hi, I'm Lily. Thanks for coming into my class." And it was just so out of context and bright and bubbly, which she is. I'm Lily and I'm 8, and I'm 9 on the 2nd of July. I was born into... I love going on computers. I think Google Apps is amazing. I love finding out information, and I love having Zoe Ross to talk to my class. I really like Vockies, page plugins, and other kinds of computer sort of stuff. I have my own blog, and as I've said, I really like computing. So this is what we did this afternoon. And I'm just... Oh, this is... Sorry, I should really show you Kyle. This is Kyle. The only downside of Kyle, of course, is an Everton supporter, which you can see. But he spends... he's just astonishingly good for a 9-year-old kid and computers, and using it to improve and develop his learning and his sharing it, and all of the kinds of things we talk in primary schools about developing, because he's fab. And he was slightly annoyed this afternoon because one little boy said that he knew how to embed Vockies into Google presentations, and for a moment, I don't think you can. I don't think you can. But he said he did, and I passed the crown over from Kyle to Andrew, and for a moment his face dropped. And as we were going back up the stairs in the ICT, he said, because he'd done something, and he said, "Have I got my crown back?" And that's it. So if you would like to see more, go to our class blog, year 4 at greenparkschool.org.uk, and join in with our conversation, because we have great fun. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. I can thoroughly recommend checking out Green Park's blogs. They are always really well written, really interesting.